Hello everyone and welcome back to Basics. Today I will guide you through the mountain climber pose. It's a very common transition in Sun Salutations and Vinyasa flow yoga class style. And it will be a lot about core strength and arm strength. Let's break this down and see how strong you are in this pose and how much space you can improve. Let's start the class on your all fours, so hands and knees on the ground. Fix your table pose a little bit before we start. Make sure you are spreading your fingers out and you're grabbing the floor with all the corners of your hands, including all the knuckles and all the fingertips. This way the body weight will be spreading all through your 10 fingers and not only to your 2 wrists. And then your knees will be right underneath your hip bones. Basically, you look like a table here. And let's start warming up through your spine and go through cat and cow. Inhale, cow pose, arcing through your spine. Exhale, cat pose, become rounded. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Let's do 5 times totally. And take it as slowly or as fast as you want. Inhale, cow pose, arcing through your spine. And exhale, cat pose. And then stay here in the cat pose. Become rounded for 3 breaths. Make your neck very long, relax your head, but tuck your belly up toward your spine and bring your hips down. Inhale, feel how your back is becoming very big. And exhale, squeeze your belly button up. It's like you want to stick toward your spine. Inhale, you can relax your belly a little bit, but as you exhale, suck it up. For 1 more breath, inhale and exhale. And then from here, let's go to the mountain climber pose, easy option with your back knee on the floor. I will lift my left leg up first so that you can see me doing the pose. And the other knee, you can bring it a bit closer to the middle line of your mat so that it's easier to keep balance. Become rounded in the cat pose and try to touch your knee toward your arm. Keep your foot off the floor. Try to squeeze your heel as much as you can toward your buttock and your thigh as much as you can toward your belly. The first time you do this pose, maybe you are very low like here, but just keep doing, and day by day you're going to see that your knee can come closer and closer toward your armpit. So you know that how it looks here, your ankle will be like a ballet dancer. This is to activate through all your lower body. We can start with 3 rounds of mountain climber in the easy option. So inhale, kick this left leg up toward the sky and become arc in a cow pose. And exhale, bend your knee and touch your left knee toward your left arm. Just touch. Remember where you touch. Inhale, leg up, chest up. And exhale, try to touch higher than the previous time. And the 3rd time, inhale. And exhale. Try to go the highest. Stay here. The highest point that you can touch on your arm. Become rounded. And take about 3 breaths. Don't let your leg fall down to the floor. Lift it up all the time. Fight against gravity. It's hard. But after this, you can step your left foot toward your left hand and go to low lunge or Anjali Asana. Bring your hips down low. Raise yourself up. Make sure your front knee is right on the top of your front ankle. And raise your arms over your head. You can close your eyes if you feel very stable, or you can keep looking forward Inhale, reaching yourself up very nice and long. And exhale, bring your hips down toward the floor for more hips opening. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Let's bring the front foot back a little bit so that you can have your left hand in front of your left foot. Now the knee will be touching your own armpit. See if you can become rounded and you can pick this left leg off the floor into mountain climber pose and bring the knee back for table pose. From here, shoulders right on the top of your hands and lift your knees up into plank pose. Take one inhale in plank pose. And exhale, knees down. Squeeze your arms toward the side of your body and place all your body down to the floor. Inhale for Cobra Pose. Keep pressing your hips and your thighs down to the ground strongly. And exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Let's lift your heels up off the floor in down dog today and walk your heels on and off the floor so that we find more flexibility in the back side of your body. And then slowly place both knees down and fix your table pose. About 2 or 3 rounds of cat and cow here to calm down before we continue with mountain climber on the other side. Really notice the cat pose. You should learn how to activate your belly muscles in the cat pose. And stay in cat pose as you lift your right leg up. You can change your left knee position on the floor so that you become the most stable when you do this. Point your right toes like ballet dancer. Activate through all your right leg. And try to touch your own right arm. We do 3 times. Inhale, kick your right leg up, become arc on your spine. And exhale, become rounded like a cat pose, tuck your belly up and try to touch your knee very high on your arm. Second time, inhale. And exhale, try to touch even higher. And last time, inhale. And exhale. Touch the highest point that you can touch today on your arm. Maybe it's not as high as me or it's not high at all, but trust me, if you do this a few more times, you will see the difference. Become rounded and make sure you're using your belly muscles too. 3 breaths. It's very hard, but stay with me. Every time you exhale, squeeze your belly up. And then you can step your right foot toward your right hand. Separate your legs to be a stretchy low lunge or Anjali Asana pose. Raise yourself up, bring your arms over your head. 3 breaths. It's a good chance to stretch the front of your body after that mountain climbing pose. It's contracting a lot to the front body. And after the next breath, hands down to the floor. Step your foot slightly back so that your right hand can be in front of your right foot. Now your right knee is leaning already toward your right arm. Pick the whole right foot up into a mountain climber pose and step it back. Go to plank pose. Inhale in plank. And exhale, knees down. And the rest of your body down to the floor. Inhale. Cobra Pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're going to do this mountain climbing pose from down dog. So I suggest you step your toes slightly forward to make your down dog a bit smaller. It's easier for you to touch your own knee to your own arm. When the down dog is smaller, bend your knees and raise your heels up. Let's take one deep breath here. And exhale through your mouth. One more time like that. Before we do anything, check your hands. Make sure that all the corners of your hands are on the floor. There's no part of your hands, your palms are lifted from the floor. We start with your left leg. Inhale, bring your left leg up to the sky. And exhale, bend the left knee, point the toes like a ballet dancer. Move your shoulders forward and try to touch your knee to your left arm. Second time, inhale, left leg up. And exhale, try to touch higher, become rounded, and your shoulders go forward very much. The last time, inhale. And exhale. Try to touch your knee as high as you can, and then try to step your foot toward your hand. If you cannot step your foot to your hand, you can take one more step, or you can use your own hand to help your foot land in the position for high lunge. And you stand up, bring your arms over your head, look forward, and stay for high lunge. 3 breaths. One last breath, inhale and exhale. Bring your hands down to the floor. Step your front foot slightly back so that your left hand can be right in front of your left foot and your left knee is already leaning on your left arm. Become rounded, raise your back heel up very high, your body go up very tall, and then bring the front foot off the floor into a mountain climbing pose and step it back into plank pose. Inhale in plank. And exhale, knees down and the rest of your body down to the floor. Inhale, Cobra Pose. Exhale, Down Dog. Walk your heels on off the floor in Down Dog. Push the floor away with your hands and raise your sitting bones up to the sky very high. And then we start with the other side, so you step your toes slightly forward. Make the down dog smaller. Before we start, let's calm down, cool down inside your body by a deep inhale through your nose and long exhale through your mouth. You can do one more time if you want to. And we start. Lift your right leg up to the sky, inhale. And exhale, bend your right knee, touch your right arm. Bring your shoulder forward. Second time, inhale. And exhale, become rounded. Squeeze your thigh toward your belly and touch higher on your arm. The third time, inhale. And exhale, try to touch as high as you can toward your armpit and step your foot toward your hand. If you're not there, use your hand to help or one more step so that you arrive in high lunge position. Bring your arms over your head as you stand up. Inhale. And 3 breaths here. One last breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Step the right foot back slightly. Lean your right knee toward your right armpit already. Become rounded. Raise your back heel up. And pick the whole front foot off the floor. Point the toes like a ballet dancer. And step it back for plank pose. Inhale in plank. Exhale, knees. And the rest of your body on the floor. Inhale, Cobra Pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your heels on and off the floor. Let's do all these one more time. A little bit quicker, but we make sure that you touch your knee to the highest point that you can touch on your arm. Okay? So make the down dog a bit smaller and then inhale, left leg up. First time, exhale, mountain climber. Inhale, left leg up. Always point your toes to activate the whole leg. Second time, squeeze the leg up toward you. Suck it up. And one last time, inhale and exhale. Try to step your left foot toward your left hand and raise yourself up into a high lunge. Inhale. From here, you can hold your hands together and you can add a small back bend into the pose. Look slightly up, lift your chest up. Take deep inhale to expand your lungs to the front. And exhale all the tiredness out of your body. It's very challenging for the core, the arms, and the whole body. The next time you exhale, bring your hands down to the floor, step the front foot slightly back, and then lean your knee toward your armpit and pick the whole front foot up for mountain climbing pose and step it back for plank pose. Inhale, exhale, knees down, everything else down to the floor. Inhale, Cobra Pose. Exhale, down dog. Step your feet a bit closer for a smaller down dog. And then right leg, inhale. Exhale, mountain climber. First time. Inhale, leg up. Exhale, second time. Try to touch your knee higher than the previous point. And last time, inhale. Exhale, knee as high as you can toward your armpit and step your right foot toward your right hand, ready for high lunge. Inhale, bring your arms over your head. And then you can hold your hands together for a back bend. One more inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands down to the floor in front of your foot. Let's start leaning your right knee toward your right arm already. Lift your back heel up, become rounded, lift your whole hips off the floor very high. And then pick your front foot up, point the toes really strong on the front leg and step it back for plank pose. Inhale in plank pose. And exhale, knees and everything else on the floor. Inhale, Cobra Pose. Exhale, down dog. Walk your heels on and off the floor for a few times. And then let's bring your knees down to the floor. Bring the toes down to the ground. Make a space so that you can rest your belly between your thighs as you sit back to your heels for child pose. Here you can bring your arms to the front of you and rest your head on the floor, or you can stack your forearms on top of each other and rest your head on your forearms. This is my favorite option because the head will not be too low. Stay here for about 5 breaths. You don't have to control too much anymore here. Just relax. And then after 5 breaths, you can choose to lay down on your mat for Savasana, or you can slowly sit, and I will finish the class now. So, how did you feel in the mountain climbing pose? And notice today where you are, where your knee is on your arm in the mountain climbing pose. You may not be doing too impressive today, but trust me, if you practice regularly, don't have to be every day, just a few times per week, you will clearly see the result after a short period of time. Thank you very much for doing this class with me, and don't forget to subscribe and follow. Click on the bell button so that you get notification whenever I release new video. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.